Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning, man. Good morning. Here we go. Another episode of Habari Live. This week has been, crazy as always when it comes to the world and what's going on in this place.
It's me. Sorry.
I know. See, we here. But yeah, so it's been a crazy week. Last night, out of nowhere, we had a lot of Epstein files that were dropped. And so we're going to discuss a lot of that, and we're going to discuss what's going on with the other things that that has happened this week. Thank you. And it's crazy, man, that the information is being dropped daily. No, I'm not going to say daily. But as these files are being leaked out and we're slowly getting the meticulous trickling of this information, and it's Trump's DOJ that released it, released it in the middle of the night to I don't know, I guess people don't have a lot of time to go over the files, but people have dug into them, and what's been coming out is just not great, man. It's not looking good, man. But let's go through the spiel. Good morning, Habari County, my people. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. As always, we are all the way live in Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Ellison, and my co-host, she's not there. She's doing something else.
Yeah, I got to, make sure the kid's straight.
Uh-huh.
But Iesha, what's up?
We will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of our city. But first, let's go over what's the top stories for the week and some of the things that's been happening straight with Iesha.
Yeah, man. There's a lot that happened this week, Damon. First off, let's go ahead and start off with former CNN anchor and independent journalist Don Lemon was arrested this week by federal agents in Los Angeles while covering the Grammy Awards. The Justice Department has charged Lemon in connection with his coverage of a January 18th protest at City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, where anti-ICE demonstrators interrupted a worship service. Federal prosecutors allege that Lemon violated federal statutes, including conspiracy to deprive rights and interference with constitutional rights under the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act by his actions at the event.
It's so dumb.
It is.
The act is so stupid, and they're going to celebrate. They're happy. They want people thrown in jail who have a different opinion than them. So if that happens to be a journalist, then so be it.
Mm-hmm.
They are 100% anti the First Amendment, and they show it all the time. And that's cool, man. That's cool. You show your true colors, man, when you praise things like this. I mean, we all saw the video of him there, and he was asking people questions, and he openly said, "I am not a part of this. I am just covering what's going on." And it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, man. But regardless of what, he's gonna win his case.
Yep, he has vowed to
fight
the charges.
And already, we have many people who are saying that this is will be thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of people who all stood up and wouldn't bring this to bring those charges to fruition for the Trump administration.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept going into they grabbed someone who was okay with bringing these charges. You know, they always find a stooge who's okay with bringing these charges forward. But this, it won't hold. And we'll keep it up. We're keeping talking, regardless of the tactics that the Trump administration tries to use to keep people from talking and speaking out against things. I mean, it's
or exercising their
right.
constitutional rights.
I mean, the guy just went to a church, man, and then I mean, they really are acting like he was a part of it when he said openly in the video, "I am not a part of this. I am covering what's going on. I'm covering what they are doing." He said it several times. And he also was asking questions of the people who were there, the people who own the church. That's journalism. That's what he was doing. So I'm not sure if you think he has to work for a company to be an independent journalist, but he doesn't. So, I mean, the thing is that it makes it tough for us. You know, as a company, we're looking at this and we're in small independent journalism. We have a different opinion from this guy, or we cover something that they don't like, are we going to get arrested? Is that the America that we want to live in? I mean, it just doesn't seem right, man, to me.
Right.
But we have people on the right applauding and happy and pushing this narrative that the government is doing a good thing by locking up people who are just expressing their rights to cover a story.
Yep, exactly. Moving on, Sean Grayson, a former Illinois sheriff's deputy, was sentenced this week to 20 years in prison for the fatal shooting of Sonia Massey inside her home in July of 2024. Massey had called 911 to report that she had a possible prowler, where body cam footage and trial testimony played a key role in his conviction. Grayson expressed remorse, and the judge just rejected the defense's argument for leniency based on his medical conditions, including advanced cancer.
Damn.
Massey's family did react emotionally in court, and they expressed belief that the maximum sentence had been warranted in this particular case.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, man. You know, the video was sad. This just was a sad case. I don't know. I guess because he had something going on with the colon cancer and something clicked in his brain. I don't know what was wrong with that guy that day.
Who knows?
But he was found guilty, so we don't have to say the words presumed. You know, he did it, and we all saw it on video, but we still have to be careful. But you know, 20 years. You know, I've seen people get less, unfortunately, for murder, but it's a good thing, man, that the people are being held accountable. And this is the same thing that we're asking for ICE, you know, right now. And so far, no one has been arrested. No one has been even suspended for killing two people. And those are the type things that we look at and we say, what type of America is this? This is why people from Black Lives Matters, this is the reason why they marched those days. For people to be held accountable for the decisions that they make while they are working in positions of power. And I think we all should look at the people who are working in these places, and they shouldn't just get a pass to do whatever they want to. They should be held to higher standards than anyone else that works because of the power that they hold, the decisions that they can make that can destroy people's lives. That means that you have to be held to a higher standard than others. And, you know, a lot of people like to equate the police and ICE to normal everyday people and what they do to each other and try to tell us, well, you weren't mad when this guy, I mean, it's crazy. Like to equate those things and say, oh, a normal person killed someone. You guys weren't upset, but you're upset when ICE kills someone or when the police kill someone. You don't see the power. You don't see, why weren't you mad when Johnny Jimmy killed the guy across the street? Yeah, it's all upsetting. But when people of power are killing the citizens, the people you trust to walk around with guns, the people that you pay with your own tax money, you should not be afraid of them. You should not be able to afraid to protest, to film them. Those things should not be happening, but they are.
They are. Lastly, the biggest thing that did catch my eye this week was, like you said, the Justice Department announcing the major release of more than 3 million pages of previously unreleased material from the Jeffrey Epstein case under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They note that this release includes 2,000 videos and 180,000 images from FBI investigative files, court records, and evidence collected in multiple Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell prosecutions. The DOJ leader stated that the material reflects a broad scope of evidence, but emphasized that certain portions were heavily redacted to protect the victims and to comply with legal obligations. I do want to note here that there's a lot that's going on in these case files. And
are you going to talk about the graphics?
Yeah, the graphics.
If you go to graphics for me.
It's so crazy.
Man,
I
hit
mean,
one of those yellow.
But first, I do want to make a disclaimer that,
that's the only way it's going to show.
A lot of this information has not been verified. No verified evidence has emerged from the latest DOJ release showing the specific allegations cited in some of these social media posts, especially involving the sexual abuse named by public figures like Donald Trump, Robin Leach, and such.
Oh, no, that didn't work
either. There's a section under one of the files where a young girl is describing how members of Trump's family, Ivanka, Eric, Don Jr., and Trump himself and Ghislaine Maxwell were all there witnessing this 13-year-old girl being assaulted. But like I said, supposedly, the claims are unverified by the DOJ. So, but, it also describes that, Trump would measure young girls' vaginas and would, it's just a lot that was just vulgarly described in there. I'm not going to go into every detail, but those files are disgusting. And if you're okay with the president doing the things that is described in those files, you're disgusting too. It's just,
man, I don't know. We'll see how Republicans come back on what just came out. I mean, they usually just ignore anything that makes their king looks bad. They've been focusing in on Bill Clinton and him being in the files and just ignoring any suggestions or when Trump name is coming up, they've straight up just ignored it. They don't bring it up at all. They don't talk about it on Fox News. So the right just ignores it and just says, well, Bill Clinton, this is the way they're fighting it. I don't know, man. These allegations in the last 2 releases have been pretty bad on Trump. And these guys are just, they're just ignoring it, going about their lives, hoping that Don Lemon goes to jail, and this is what they do. They're not going to stand up. They're not going to, do anything to try to be against Trump. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So it's tough, man.
Right.
I don't know what has to be found in the Epstein files for you to finally say, goodness, this is crazy. What do you need to see? I mean, all the pictures and photos and crazy stuff we've seen, and you guys are still making excuses, still bringing up Obama. I mean, so the problem is that you're going to protect your guy no matter what. No matter what is found about your guy, you're just going to keep protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
So and just keep on just bringing up well Obama. So, that's your protection.
Right.
So I mean, I don't understand. You know, I don't get it. But that's the way these people are going nowadays. I just saw a guy said that Republicans want smaller government.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should be outraged by what Trump is doing right now because we're not getting smaller government. Smaller government means not telling the FCC who should be taken off air. Smaller government means not telling schools who they can bring into their campuses. This is not small government at all. This guy is straight up telling companies who they can and can't hire. He's telling companies who they can't bring over from overseas, what people they can and can't bring from overseas, how much it's going to cost them to bring those people from overseas. And it's 100% against everything that Republicans say they stand for. Smaller government. Those things aren't happening right now. We're seeing nothing but big government as this guy brings the military into cities.
Mm-hmm.
The cities aren't even asking for the military. He's bringing them anyway. That sound like small government to you? Where the people, the mayors and the governors are saying, no, we're okay. We don't need that. And he's like, no, we're doing it anyway. That sounds like overreach to me. But you can keep saying that you guys are pro small government as we see the government make everyone bend to their knees. He came in, he made um, um, lawyers bend the knee that brought him to trial. He made them, he put in provisions to hurt these people, sued everyone, hurting the media companies, trying to make them shut up, suing all of them to make them shut up, shutting down independent journalists, putting them in jail. Does that sound like small government to you? That sounds like big government, man. And a lot of people in the decisions of everyday people, man, making people do what the government wants them to do. Crazy times. But the Epstein files, it's crazy, man. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to really say. It's so much that's out right now. Um, yeah, I mean, it's so much information. You don't have the gist, and you have anything else on it except that one?
Yeah, they were saying also as part of some of the documents, if y'all do want to go read the file name is EFTA 01660679.
Mhm.
Also it's being reported it is unverified claims again that Robin Leach also had attended a party there on Epstein's
Supposedly.
island
Mhm.
and had there was a witness to have him strangling a young girl at the party and unaliving her at the party. Again, it is unverified claims. We do not know, but they've also said that Alan Dershowitz, Bob Musk had also been there as well on the Epstein Island.
And we also have heard that Elon Musk, who said that
Mm-hmm.
he didn't want anything to do with the island, was begging to get
Yep.
on and was trying to
And
put a date together
yep.
so he can visit the island. He was
I think it was like the 1st through the 13th or something
mm,
that they had scheduled a visit, and it was supposed to have been like January 2nd or something that Elon was supposed to had gone onto the island, but something came up and he wasn't able to get there. But this is on 2 separate occasions Elon Musk had been in contact and had been pretty friendly with Epstein in trying to get onto the island.
mhm. Yeah, man. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, man. A lot of prominent figures have been named. Some
Mhm.
people were saying that Eminem was named in these files. Some people had Jay-Z named in the files. So a lot of powerful people are being named. Um, Clinton again, Donald Trump, Eric Trump, Elon Musk, Bill Gates again,
Bob Musk.
So Howard Lutnick, a lot of people, Bannon, a lot of people in the Trump spectrum were in these files. They say there isn't a client list, so we're not seeing the client list. They say, but this is the problem, man. That as they trickle out this information, we're not really seeing everything that we're supposed to see. But we'll keep going through the files, man, keeping you guys updated. But man, it's crazy. It's definitely craziness what we're seeing right now. And any other president would be getting impeached right now. But we know, the Congress and Senate is owned by Republicans, and they're not going to do anything. But anybody else would be getting impeached for this, being dragged to trial, because this is crazy. Oh, let me see. Them files are a waste of time. We need men out here being men, fixing their life and leveling up, getting this money. Bro, what are you talking about? Nah, that's not a waste of time, man. When you finding out the things that the powerful are doing, when you finding out that people are perverts,
right?
And all these people were cool with this guy, and they knew this guy was a criminal, and everybody was cool and wanted to go to this damn island. You see what the powerful are doing, and it's pretty disgusting, man. We also found that Epstein was allowed into Canada after his criminal convictions for a TED conference in 2014, but denied another visit over his criminal record 4 years later. Documents also suggested Elon Musk made plans to the Epstein Island, like we said, several times between 2012 and 2014. So these guys, they're all lying and they're protecting. The dates and context of many of the photos are unclear, and being named or pictured in the files doesn't always mean guilt. So we're not saying that you're guilty for that, but we with 3 million files released though, so it's going to be a lot more information. People are still combing through this stuff, so it's a lot more information they're going to have to go through. But we do have a 32 count draft indictment accusing Epstein and 3 alleged co-conspirators of procuring underage girls for sex acts and trafficking. So that was a indictment that we didn't see, and people just learned about. There are all type email exchanges between Elon Musk and Epstein that suggested that Tesla and SpaceX CEO was keen to visit his island. Musk has previously insisted he turned down such invitations, but through the emails that we're seeing, it looks like it's a different story. Documents also revealed that Epstein, like I said, visited Canada. He applied for a temporary resident permit that would allow him to travel to Canada in 18. Yeah, so it's a lot more information that's coming out, man. But that's some of the top stuff that we've seen so far. Elon Musk did respond. No one pushed harder than me to have the Epstein files released, and I'm glad that it's finally happened, Musk said on X. He added that he's well aware that his email correspondence with Epstein could be misinterpreted. I don't care about that, but what I do care about is that we at least attempted to prosecute those who committed serious crimes with Epstein, especially regarding heinous exploitations of underage girls, he wrote. So he didn't really answer any questions about what really was going on, but he went over those things and said those things on X today, but the other day.
Andrew Cuomo's name appears in this list too.
Oh my goodness.
And the Sonoma cartel.
Why would you get credit for files you released if your name's all in the files?
Right.
It's like, well, even though my name's all in them, and I got all type of crazy accusations of criminal activity, I did release them. I should get respect for that, right?
Right.
Maybe if your name wasn't all in them, yeah. But bro, goodness gracious. Trump has some crazy accusations in these files, man. Are y'all not
Man.
seeing this? Only if you know what happened around the world for U.S. citizens to have all this freedom. You have freedom to talk bad to the president. Just what? I don't understand what the rest of the world have to do with our freedoms to talk about bad about the president. I don't understand what you're talking about. Gas is not $2.14 here, buddy. I can tell you that. So you can talk about yourself, but that's not the gas we're getting. But it's crazy how much you guys care about gas prices now, since that's the only thing that y'all can hold on
For
to.
real.
That's the only thing y'all can talk about because everything else is more expensive. The only thing you can talk about is gas prices. Well, at least gas is $2. Idiots, man. Not here. Um,
It's crazy going through and seeing some of these names on this list.
mm-hmm.
Bob Shapiro, Robin Leach. It's crazy.
Mm-mm. Yeah, man. A new batch of documents also includes a 32-count indictment Florida prosecution filed against Epstein and 3 other defendants who they said with the 32 count, the names of the other people were blacked out, and
Yeah, there are a lot of redacted names
they were
in here.
pushing these girls into prostitution. That was the name of this, what was this indictment was about. So, man,
The British royal family, Lisa Marie Presley, Gerald Renee Duke, John W. Nichols.
mm-mm.
The list just keeps getting longer. Linda Kidd.
Yeah, man. It also shows emails appeared to show Epstein and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick made plans to meet for lunch on December 23rd, 2012 on Epstein's Caribbean island. Lutnick's wife wrote to Epstein's secretary, "We are headed towards you from St. Thomas," and asked where to anchor. And days later, Epstein's assistant sent Lutnick a follow-up note with Epstein that read in part, "Nice seeing you." Commerce Department spokesperson said in a statement that Lutnick had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoings. And it's just crazy to see so many people that's in Trump's hemisphere that were so close to Epstein. They were kicking it with this guy like constantly, and it was normal stuff. And we also saw that Melania hit up Ghislaine Maxwell, also calling her G, telling her how cute she was in the photos, talking about their trip to the I think it was the Caribbean or something like that, and how she can't wait to go. So Melania also was kicking it with these people, and she tried to act like she didn't have anything to do with it, but the email says something different. Now, the right, they will go around and act like all these things are made up and nothing is real, and they'll just ignore it like they do anything bad he does, or just act like it's someone else's fault. But to me, this is damning. And just to be in these files with all these people, man, should be damning for any politician. This should be over. But the rules does not apply to Trump, and we know that by the things that he has gotten away with over, which is crazy. So the files it's a lot out there, and as the days go on, there will be more information that will come out, man. But oh man, dude, I'm just wondering when the right will stand up and say they've had enough of this mess. Epstein and Musk continue to exchange messages early the next month about Musk's travel plans. When Epstein suggested Musk visit his island in November, Musk replied, "It's a possibility," for listing all the work he has to do that month. And then he said he could use a break after that. You know, so he asked what was the wildest, when was the wildest parties, and he would come when it's the wildest, him and his wife. So it's a lot, it's a lot, man. And Musk, he's gonna try to downplay it. They all downplay it, but if it was Democrats or anyone else, they would be all over their head. They'll be calling for their hanging immediately. But the rules don't apply. So let's go into this story, man. Top story we're gonna talk about today is Trump suing the IRS, man. Going after IRS. You've
He's
never heard
suing y'all for y'all's money.
You never heard anything like this before, because it's never happened before that I know of. The leader of the country suing the country that he's leading, and us as taxpayers. Because if he gets money, who's paying it?
We are.
We are. He's not suing an individual. Instead of him going after the people that he thinks did him wrong, he's actually suing us. And this is the second case that he's done this. The first time it died down. What he was trying to sue the DOJ for the cases.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to break down the stories that we believe the news our way, like always. But this sounds like something out of political satire. It's not even real, but it is, and it's serious. Donald Trump is suing the IRS, a sitting president, or at least a sitting administration, turning around and taking the federal government to court like it's a rival corporation. You guys are running it. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I can see if he was outside of the government and he was suing Biden's administration, but he is the government right now. It makes zero sense that he's suing the administration that he's running. And then if he does win, he makes the decision to give the money up. Like, this is just a contradiction. This should not be happening, man. This is terrible. And we already know this isn't just about taxes. This is about power.
That's right. Because when a president sues the federal government, it's not just a lawsuit. It sets a precedent. It sends a message. And it creates a future where federal agencies may be forced to operate under political pressure rather than just legal rules. So today we're going to go ahead and walk you through what Trump filed, what precedent it actually sets, the history of Trump and the birth certificate politics, and why the 2025 birthright citizenship fights are a part of this same playbook of authoritarianism.
And it doesn't make any sense, man. But we're going to get all the facts on the table. Trump and his camp filed a federal lawsuit seeking at least $10 billion in damages, accusing the IRS and Treasury Department of failing to prevent his confidential tax information from being leaked. Mm-hmm. Now, the number one thing when you hear that is that every single president throughout history has shown their taxes. This guy didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Every other president has shown their taxes willingly, openly, didn't have a problem with it. But this guy wanted to hide them. Now he's mad that the information leaked. Now, it's garbage. But this stems from the tax record leak involving Charles Littlejohn. Now, Littlejohn, he was a former IRS contractor who illegally accessed taxpayer data and shared it with media outlets. Littlejohn was later sentenced to 5 years in prison. Now, instead of Trump going after him, he wants to go after the entire government. Now, in plain terms, Trump is saying the government failed to protect his confidential information, and now he's demanding a massive payout. This is where it gets bigger than Trump, though. The IRS system runs on trust, voluntary compliance. If ordinary people believe their tax data isn't safe, they stop trusting the system. and then trust collapse, so does the entire idea of fair enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at today. Do we trust the government? Trump is in charge of the government. He's trying to sue it. So we're in a weird place, man.
Exactly. Now let's go ahead and talk about why the lawsuit is not normal. It's not rare for someone to sue the IRS, but it is rare, almost unheard of, for a president to use legal action in any way that turns the executive branch into a personal battleground. But here's what people really don't think about. The IRS and the Treasury are actually government institutions. They're supposed to enforce the law that consistently across rich, poor, Democrat, Republican, everybody. It's a fair game, fair field, right? But when the president is actively suing them for billions of dollars, it opens the door for future administrations to do the exact same thing and to treat agencies like they're the enemy, which creates fear inside of our institutions. And if we investigate certain people, we'll be punished. If we enforce the policy honestly, we get attacked. And if we don't obey the political line, we'll be litigated into submission, especially under Trump's administration. That's the precedent that this is setting. It's not about whether or not Trump can sue the IRS. It's about what this does to the long-term independence of our federal institutions.
Yeah, man. Exactly. And Iesha said the key word there, independence. Because when agencies stop behaving like neutral institutions like they are behaving today and start behaving like political shields, democracy dies in paperwork. Like the FCC was asked the other day, while he was in front of Congress, do you work for the American people or for Donald Trump? He said, well, Trump can fire me. What did you take at the oath? The oath asked you to what you were going to do for the American people, not Trump. These people for real think they own everything to Trump. They think they work for him, not us. And that is something that happens only in authoritarian regimes, because that's not the way it's supposed to be set up. It's supposed to be we, the people, not fucking we, Donald Trump. And that's what's going on today. We can stand up and fight, or you can sit down and watch this shit happen, but it's going on. It's happening, man. A lot of people are right now outside protesting because they hate the way this shit is going. Now we have to connect this lawsuit to a Trump's history, because Trump has always understood something. Documents can be used as weapons. Birth certificates, tax records, citizenship papers. This is the same man who rose in political prominence by pushing the birther conspiracy against Barack Obama. 2011, Trump publicly questioned whether Obama's birth certificate was real, claimed that investigators were involved and suggested fraud. Obama eventually released his long-form birth certificate in April 2011 just to shut down the stupid distractors. And Trump still pushed it out about it for years after that, until he became the president. That was his claim to fame.
And here's the wild part. Trump himself once filed a lawsuit tied to his own birth certificate. In 2013, Bill Maher cracked a joke that he'd donate $5 million if Trump could prove that he wasn't the spawn of an orangutan. Trump took it literally. He sent this birth certificate, then filed a lawsuit when Maher didn't pay. He ended up withdrawing the lawsuit later, but it shows you something deeper about Trump. He doesn't just use the legal system to win cases. He uses the legal system to control narratives about him.
That's real.
Whew.
Man, I can't believe he sued about that. Like, dude, people, we can't joke. We can't crack. I mean, that's, yeah, God, this guy.
Now let's go ahead and fast forward to 2025. Trump signs an executive order 14160, just directing agencies to deny citizenship to certain children born in the U.S., depending on the immigration status of their parents. The order was immediately hit with lawsuits, including challenges from civil rights groups and state attorneys generals. And courts moved quickly, issuing injunctions to block that enforcement. Now the Supreme Court has taken up the issue with arguments expected to happen in 2026. And this is why the birth certificate politics actually should matter to you, because if you can control who gets citizenship, you can control who gets counted, who gets protected, who gets rights, and who belongs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's the entire game. That's the game that we're playing today. That's the game that we are trying to figure out how they are playing it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. This is just it's a bad time in America, regardless of what anyone thinks. You can ignore it. You can act like everything's all good. You have thousands and thousands of people, millions of people afraid to come outside. You have people who are American citizens but are immigrants that came here and became citizens, are afraid to go to work, afraid to put their food trucks on the corners that they've been working for months and months and years.
What's up, Ryan?
And they're scared. What up, man? They're scared to go out and work. If you think that's okay, if you think, oh, that's fine, it's just part of, we don't want them here anyway, you're evil, period. It's going to hurt us in the long run. It's going to hurt the economy. It's going to hurt everyone. As these people who come to America, these people who move to America, these people that visit America is a big part of our economy. I know you guys think that, we don't need anybody. But man, we are, a lot of towns are set up and our resorts are set up for people to come and visit and come to America and experience what we live. That's why people come here. Now we're putting up signs and treating people like crap who are immigrants. People are not going to come here. A lot of people who are opening up all these hotels and making all these theme parks, they're going to lose money. But you're okay with that because you don't want to see brown people. It's goofy stuff, man. Goofy stuff. The ones that applied and were legally, dude, we are watching people who are here legally with green cards being deported. I don't understand. I swear, man. I swear these people, man. I know y'all watch Fox News, man. Can y'all just go away from Fox News for a few minutes? See how they're treating people. They're catching people at the courthouse while they're showing up for their green card appointment to talk to the judge and are being arrested. People that's been here, that's working through the process, doing what they can, and they're being arrested. Little kids being arrested. Like, this is dumb stuff. What about the H-1B visas being capped? He didn't cap it. He just put more money. He made it $100,000 per person, if I wasn't mistaken. I didn't see a cap. But regardless, you guys don't even believe in college and education. So how are you going to get the jobs that the people coming here that's doing the H-1B visas are even doing? How are you going to get those jobs? How are you going to work those jobs if you don't even believe in education? You don't believe in public education. You don't believe in colleges. You guys are anti-college right now, anti-education. Like, the right is just on some crazy stuff. That's the whole game. And it's not just immigration policy, it's identity politics weaponized into paperwork. A birth certificate isn't just a document anymore. It becomes a gatekeeping tool to say you're not American.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a real American. I am. And these people want to be able to say who and who isn't an American.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the bottom line for my Habari Nation. Yes, the IRS leak is serious. Yes, the contractor committed a crime. And yes, accountability is necessary. And I think he was held accountable by being put in prison.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger question is what happens when powerful political leaders treat government institutions like personal opponents?
Mm.
The guy who leaked his information should be his opponent, not the government. There's been a lot of people that worked at corporations, that worked at for the IRS, not just the IRS, for defense programs that leaked all type of information. How do you think the reporters know what's going on? Leaks are happening daily. He didn't want his tax information to come out, which is garbage in the first place, because he was supposed to release them. He didn't release them this time. We don't know what type of money that he has going on right now in the government. He may have all type influence on all type things. He could have things that other governments can hold over him. We have no idea what's going on because he will not release that information. When the president sues the IRS for billions, it doesn't just impact the IRS. It sends a signal to the entire federal system. Cross Trump, he'll make it hurt.
Yep. And when you connect this to the history of birthism, the Mar birth certificate stunt lawsuit, and now the birth certificate citizenship, birthright citizenship executive order, you can see the same playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Just wants to control who's coming in. It's about the documents, the legitimacy, and again, about who's allowed to belong in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also about using the legal system that we have, not just as a tool of justice, but as a tool of dominance over the American citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's crazy to even see that the president is suing the government.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even sound right, man. It's so dumb. It's so stupid, man. The president is suing the government that he runs because his tax documents that was supposed to be released anyway were released, and he didn't want them released. Crazy stuff, dude. But now we're gonna get into the next story here, man. It's a little about Alex Pretti and just about how quick the right were okay with gun rights being on the table and being taken off by the president, saying that you can't take a gun to a protest. Now, like I said, for years and years, we've heard them justify Rittenhouse, why it was okay to take a gun everywhere. They want guns at churches, schools. They want guns in everything. Donald Trump this week several times have said how it's not okay to bring a gun. And we got a couple videos of Trump talking about this. Let's go ahead and run both of them. This is third and fourth. The third and fourth, yeah.
Do you agree with the assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Pretti is a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. But hey, look, bottom line, everybody in this room, we view that as a very unfortunate incident. Okay? Everyone, unless you're a stupid person, very, very unfortunate incident. I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff. And despite that, I say that's a very unfortunate.
What do you think of some Republicans saying?
You said that you are.
Dirk Bike Juice, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Nothing in the birth rights did it say this is only for black people. That's not in the rules, man. I know that what it was put in place for may have been for the slaves at that time, but nothing said that this only applies to them. We've seen people coming here since the Jews came here, the Italians, the Irish. They were not told those things. They use birth right citizenships when their kid was born. So nah, man, this new argument that you guys are trying to come up to try to shit on the immigrants of today is just garbage. It's trash. Now go ahead and run the next one under that one. He talks about it again. He did say something very wrong. He said that guns shouldn't be present at rallies. That when people are protesting, that they shouldn't have guns. You guys have been bringing guns to protests forever. You were at the Black Lives Matters protest strapped with AKs, MR-15s, everything. Now you want to say that no one else can have guns at protests. Like I said last week, it just seems like there's two rule books. One rule book's for the left, one for the right. Yep. So the left can't bring, that's what you're saying. We can't bring guns. But everybody else, if they want to, that's fine. Y'all, bro, y'all actually went into Congress, knocking out windows, had guns on you. Mm-hmm. January 6th, no problem. Nobody said a thing about you guys having guns. But this guy brings a gun, doesn't even pull it out, and oh my goodness, shouldn't have guns. Just like I said, man, I've never seen a group move the goalposts as much as you guys. Just disgusting arguments, man. If you have a gun, stay on the side. Is that what you told Rittenhouse? Because I swear you guys made him a hero.
They sure did.
While he was shooting people with plastic bags and skateboards. Talking about, yeah, his life was in danger. It was okay for him to go across state lines, bring a gun. He was found not guilty. So the judge also agreed. So it seems to me that you guys are wrong. But like I said, I was 100% that anti that Rittenhouse was able to do that. 100% against it. But the judge said it was okay that he went across state line with a gun that he didn't own. It was okay that he went over there and shot somebody who was trying to throw a plastic bag at him. He was scared for his life, so it was okay. But now this guy, he can't go to the protest with a gun because he's on the left. And he's against Trump. So it's different. Yeah, you can kill somebody that's swinging a skateboard at you. You're right. That's the way it should be. That's the laws you guys want in place. So what are you crying about with this guy bringing the gun to the protest? What is that a cry about? If you're okay with Rittenhouse, there's no reason why you should fix your face to say anything about Alex Pretti and what his situation was. Period. But, when you're brainwashed and you're in a cult, that's the only thing you can do is try to find the differences for you can down the left, no matter how the situations are the same. So before we get to the clips of the week, I'm going to tell you right now, man. This story is actually why Habari Live exists. Like always, man, we're talking about the things that you guys just don't want to dig into. Dig into the stories, bring up the reasons. Just like in the first one, we brought up the guy who leaked the information, who doesn't really get talked about much. But he leaked to Trump's tax information. Now he wants to sue the entire government because what this guy did, but you can't tell people where to go in America, dog. You can't tell people to stay on the sidewalk. Like, what do you keep saying that for?
He did.
He can go wherever the fuck he wants to go. If he wants to go off the sidewalk, he can do that. As long as he is not impeding their investigation, which he wasn't. Rittenhouse did run into law enforcement.
And did engage with
And
them.
he did engage with them. You're 100% wrong. They respected him having his gun, told him to put it down slowly, and he was arrested without incident with his big gun. Now, for some reason, ICE, this guy had a 9. They couldn't arrest the guy. They had to kill him, even though he never went for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make all the excuses you want to, but it's a situation where the police were able to handle Rittenhouse and take care of the situation without wrestling and doing all this craziness that ICE was doing. But what we're witnessing in real time right now is how the right-wing media ecosystem takes a short video, a clip, a moment, and turns it into an excuse for state violence. And we're talking about the new video that came out of Alex Pretti when he was kicking the back of a federal car and he knocked out the tail light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I tried to get the video, but for some reason they wouldn't let me get it. Who knows? But anyway, this is why Trump came out and said a lot of disgusting things about him, called him a domestic terrorist, and doubled down on everything he's been saying about the guy that's dead, and shitting on him because 11 days before then, and his ribs were broken in this situation, he had a run-in with them because he spit on the car and he kicked the car. We don't know what really happened before the video started to get him angry. I'm thinking that they probably tried to run him over, and that's the reason why he kicked the car. But I'm not sure why he was that upset about it. But to see the right say, oh, well, that's why he was killed.
That's why it's justified.
It's okay. He was killed. Look, he was acting a fool 11 days before then. He deserved to die. It's just crazy to see you guys. I mean, it's crazy. You're okay with seeing Americans die because he was protesting. And, maybe he did go a little too far with kicking the back of their car. He had his gun on him that day, and nothing happened.
Nothing.
He got scuffled up, broke a rib, but he didn't get killed. To me, that just proves that ICE could do their job without fucking shooting people.
Yeah.
They weren't intimidated by the gun that day.
So what made that
made it different 11 days later?
Right.
Where they had to shoot him. They had a run-in with him before. They saw the guy never pulled a gun. He didn't pull it that day. He didn't pull it the next time. So what made them feel as though they had to shoot him? When you see both situations, he wasn't violent to that extent of pulling his weapon. He was doing some things, kicking the car and spitting. He did do some crazy stuff. But that type, he could have been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't. He was let go. What he was doing 11 days later was tame compared what he was doing that day. On the first video, the second video that comes out showing him kicking the car and spitting. It was a lot worse that day. He was doing more that day that if they would have got more violent with him that day, people would have understood a lot more than the day when he was trying to save the lady and trying to keep them from saving the lady and was kept putting his hands up while that wasn't going on. But to shoot him on that day, and then everyone telling us that it was okay because how he acted 11 days, come on, man. Come on. I'm not going to blame the local cops for someone else's activities and actions. I'm not blaming the governor for someone else's activities and actions. ICE can control themselves. For 30 years, we've never seen ICE act in this fucking manner.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen ICE running and walking through the streets like they are today. The people they are hiring today are untrained. There are a lot of Proud Boys in there, we are finding out. So these are the reasons why we're getting the outcomes that we're getting, because they're only training for 47 days. It was cool because Trump's president 47. Like, this is horrible. They're out here acting like this because they're untrained. And you have Bovino and all these people and Stephen Miller pumping them up, telling them they can do whatever the hell they want to. And that is the things that is getting these guys pumped to go into the street. I saw the video, man. Bovino pumping these dudes up, telling them they can do whatever they want. They can treat people however they want. He said it out of his mouth. Nah, man, you cannot say it's the violent protesters. When these situations, they were not getting jumped by protesters. There has not been anything that has been burned down in Minnesota, so you guys can stop it with the violent protesters. People do not like what ICE is doing, going around using how people talk, how people look to pick people up. People don't like it. Man, stop saying that stupid shit. Stay on the sidewalk. Okay, cool. So that would Ashley Babbitt, should she stayed her ass on the sidewalk or she still be alive before she knocked on that door and you guys still made her a hero? Like everybody you guys that talk about do not stay on the sidewalk with their guns and they're made into heroes, but everybody else is supposed to stay on the sidewalk. Dude, you're being ridiculous. But the case they're using right now is the video of Alex Pretti where he's seen yelling and spitting and kicking the vehicle, like I said, man. And now they're using that video to argue his death was justified. Not that arrest was justified, not that he should have faced charges. No, they're using it as an okay for his death.
Yeah, you're right. And that part is chilling because it's how fast the machine moved. Within hours of the video circulating, people weren't saying, let's investigate what happened. They were saying he deserved it. They were saying that it's propaganda, that it's the script, and that it's not accidental because Trump himself posted about it. And what he wrote is what matters most.
Dog, stop it. There was no videos of Obama's ICE walking through the streets, beating up people, man. Stop it. Obama's ICE, they did detain some families in cages, but they were arresting people on the border more than they were arresting people in the middle of the cities. So you can stop all the bull. You just make up shit. Obama's ICE was worse. They were better at their job. They were more efficient. Yes. And they also were arresting more people on the border than they were arresting people in cities. So your facts are just incorrect. In the 8 years that Obama was ahead of ICE, 52 people did die in those 8 years. Right now, Trump, a year in, 40 people have died. 40. 1 year. So, I mean, the numbers that he's about to see is about to be astronomical if he keeps it on this pace. I just said that 56 died under Obama in 8 years. In 1 year, 38, almost 40, I'm going to say 40, has died under Trump. After 1 year. He's already about to surpass what Obama did in 8 years. And y'all keep bringing it up like, oh, 56 died under Obama in 8 years. It's not even 10 a year. People die in custody because you're holding people. People could be sick. You don't know their situation. They're coming from a different country. So people do die in custody. That is normal. But when you're seeing U.S. citizens being shot, when you see people are dying at astronomical rates that we're seeing in the Trump administration, 40 in a year, you only have 16 to go to pass Obama in 8 years. I talk about this all the time, man. Biden, he had an influx. You have to understand. What did he do a good job at trying to stop that influx? Not into the end. He waited too long. Biden took too long to do anything about it. But the number one thing is when Trump put a hold on all immigration for 4 straight years, we saw an influx of people trying to come and sign up for amnesty because these people had to wait 4 years. So all the people that waited 4 years under Trump, they knew they weren't going to get any amnesty under Trump. They waited until the presidency changed. Then they start hitting the fence to start coming to America. A straight influx because Trump turned it off. America had never done that, where we just turned off all immigration, all people trying to come in for amnesty, all people looking for asylum. Trump turned it off for 4 years straight. So the next person who gets into office and he just opens it back up like normal, the way it's always been. And yes, it's going to be an influx. But y'all, it's an invasion. It's people are coming after us. They're all out on. No, it was a normal situation when you turn off something and then turn it back on. That's the way it happens. Yes, you're going to get an influx of people. Biden took too long to fucking react to this. I will say that for sure. He waited until the last fucking year, tried to put in something, and then the Republicans blocked it.
Yep.
That was dumb on Biden's part. And I disagreed the whole time. And I'm saying do something about the border. They're going to try to use it. You know that's what they're going to do. But he didn't. He didn't do anything. So he has to own it. But at the same time, there was an influx because of the presidential policies that were put in by the Trump administration. Germany voted for what they got. Times Magazine Man of the Year 1930. Hey, for real. For real. And a lot of people today are watching their neighbors get snatched out of their homes and they're clapping. And then they're wondering why the Germans let the things that happened to the Jews go on. They're wondering. Like I said, I've said this before. People are okay with this crap, man. People are cruel. Cruel people, man. You know, ICE is coming to Phoenix. They went into Zips and raided them for hiring illegals. I look at Arizona. It was Mexico. We bought it. The Mexicans were already here before we even got here. They were here. Now we didn't put a line around them and telling them, "Oh, you guys are now illegal." They've been living here before anyone got here. The natives and the Mexicans were here. This was their land. Now we're telling them, "Get out of here. This is our land." Like, this was their land. They lived here. Someone else bought it. And you think what are they supposed to do? Get up and leave because it was purchased around them? This is the land that they bought, they created. This is the land that they built on, farmed. And now you're going to tell them that manifest destiny this is just for Europeans. You got to go. Stop it. Stop it. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. This whole entire West Coast was not ours. We need to stop treating these people like they don't belong here. None of this is a remnant of the Nazi party and stuff. This is a crazy talk, and they are actively seeking out criminals that came into our country illegally. No, they're not. Less than 10% of the people they are picking up are criminals. They're picking up hardworking people who are just here to try to push their idea of how to make their family successful. I mean, this is crazy. We're this land, when I come in Phoenix, I already knew when I got here, the culture is Mexican. Because this is who land it was. You are uneducated and don't know what you're talking about. There was always somebody here before the last person that was here. That's so far in history. What? Quit spewing talking points. What are you talking? That makes 0 sense, my guy. 0 sense. There was always somebody here before. What? What are you talking about? There was always a first, regardless of there was always a first. There's always a first. There's always the original. There's always the indigenous. What are you talking about? You didn't conquer the land. You bought it. There was no war for the land. You bought it. Now you want to treat the people like trash when you should be accepting the people that were there when you bought the land. Now, some people say the land was stolen because most of the deals for the land was scams and we bought it from countries who really didn't have control of the shit in the first fucking place. That's why a lot of people say it was stolen because of that type shit. Yes, it's hot as hell here, bro. Right now we're in the good. I think what it's gonna be 80 degrees today. So now it's too hot here today. Want to know the truth, but let's trip. We don't have it. We wanted to talk about Trump and what he posted online, and I'm quoting this from his stupid ass Truth Social. He called Alex an agitator and perhaps insurrectionist, Alex Pretti. Stock has gone way down after the video that was just released of him screaming and spitting in the face of a very calm and under control ICE officer, and then crazily kicking in a new and very expensive government vehicle. Crazed and out of control, the ICE officer was calm and cool. He said, "Make America great again." That was his framing. Trump is not calling for due process. He's not calling for a court case. He is directing the public to view this person as an agitator, perhaps an insurrectionist, crazed and out of control. And then he ends with praise for the ICE officers and turns it into a political messaging. That's not leadership. That's narrative. That's warfare.
Mm-hmm. And notice something very important here. Trump is weaponizing the word insurrectionist. He throws it out like it's seasoning. Perhaps he's an insurrectionist.
Oh my goodness.
No conviction, no trial, no legal definition applied whatsoever. Just a label meant to trigger one thing in the minds of his audience. This is an enemy. And once you convince your supporters that someone is an enemy, you can convince them of anything. They fall for anything.
It's crazy because we've actually seen people that are insurrectionists be found guilty in court, and he still gave them pardons.
Yep.
Like actual insurrectionists, that were for you, and you keep saying, "Oh, those guys, they were just patriots. They were patriots. They were good people." But anybody else is an insurrectionist because he kicked the tail light of a car. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that he was right for doing that. I'm not going to say that. He was incorrect, and he should have went to jail for kicking that car. I know I would have. But it's crazy to see that this guy is called an insurrectionist when the real insurrectionists are running around terrorizing the rest of the country and getting put back in jail for the crimes that they're committing that Donald Trump is allowing to happen today. And let's talk about the core problem. A clip cannot be a death sentence, man. Just because someone did something wrong. And this is something that was talked about during Black Lives Matter. When Michael Brown, he was a crook. He stole some candy from out of the store. He deserved to die. These are the things we talked about. And I always thought like, oh man, it's only black people they do this to. But I was wrong. Anyone that they feel doesn't deem the same respect as they think are Americans. So anyone that they feel is un-American doesn't get that same respect. Now, I really thought, man, it's just black people they do this to. But today, what they're doing to Alex Pretti and the other person who was murdered in Minnesota, Renee Good, I see that it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes to fit your narrative, you will say. You don't care what color they are, as long as they're against you. You don't care if it's a liberal, if it's a black person, the gang member, the police kills them. You're going to be on the side of the cops and the government at all times, regardless of what is going on. We need to be crystal clear on that shit. You can have a video of someone acting reckless, angry, or even violent. You can have a video of someone committing vandalism, a crime. You can have a video of somebody resisting arrest. Guess what? that still does not automatically justify them being gunned down on the fucking streets because ICE or the right or Trump or Stephen Miller or any one of you other motherfuckers who don't like it thinks that he deserves to die. Should he be arrested? Yeah. Restrained? Definitely. Charges? For sure. Prosecution? Definitely. Sentencing? Yeah. If he's guilty. But we're watching them do the right do something else. They're the judge and the executioner on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that these things are okay, that it's okay to judge and execute. They take the clip and compress the entire human being experience into 15 seconds, no type, no context, no timeline, no escalation.
Nothing.
Know what happened before. Know what happened. That's right, man. Go Suns. that's right. That's right. I feel that. I like that. I couldn't believe they pulled it out last night, man. Suns on fire. Like the Suns. You know. They hot.
Goofy.
Hey, but they want the audience to think if he kicked the car, then whatever happened next must be justified. And that's crazy, man. This is mob logic, not law. The same mob logic that used to tear black people out of their homes and hang them on trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same mob logic, man.
Exactly. And this is where America reveals itself, because for decades we've been seeing people in this country do far worse on camera, and we still make it home alive.
Mhm.
We've seen mass shooters arrested peacefully.
Yep.
We've seen people who threaten police with weapons taken into custody.
Mhm.
We've seen suspects in violent crimes placed into handcuffs without being executed.
Mhm.
So when the right says, well, he kicked the vehicle, he had it coming, we have to ask ourselves, he had it coming according to what standard? Because that standard gets used selectively. And that standard often depends on what community you come from,
Mm-hmm.
what political party you identify with, and whether or not law enforcement sees you as a human or a threat.
Look, man, I do not hate America. I do not understand why the right thinks their ideology stands above all, and it makes them more American than someone else because someone else has a different fucking view. The fuck out of here. We love America more than you. You know why? Because we don't love the flag. We love the actual people that are Americans. You motherfuckers hate us. You hate everyone. You don't think anyone's supposed to be here except the Anglo-Saxons. We love all people, all Americans. You motherfuckers love the idea of America and the flag more than you love the actual people, because they don't live the way you want them to live. They don't do things the way you want them to live. Psst, garbage people, dude. Yeah, man, they defending it hard. The hate is has been the largest driver of MAGA. It's been hate. That's what drives y'all. It has never been love. I never hear anyone from the right talking about caring for people who are hurting, picking people up who are distraught. Those things don't come from you guys. It's all hate. Get them out of here. Lock them up. Build a wall. That's all y'all scream. It's never anything good. It's never anything to bring people together. It's always tearing down someone and tearing apart someone. Look at y'all language. Look at MAGA's language. Look at Trump's language. Trump, he keeps repeating, the officer was calm and under control. That is deliberate, rhetorical move. It's meant to make the audience trust the officer automatically and assume the victim is the one who caused everything. Just like J.D. Vance, when that 5-year-old was held by ICE, He comes down and say, well, the parents, they didn't want the kid. And they know the Fox listeners are going to believe whatever the government tells them. They're not going to look into it. They're not going to ask the mother. They're not going to do any other questioning. They're just going to believe J.D. Vance. And they know that. And what narrative have MAGA been running with since then? Well, the parents left them. Even though we can say, hey, man, that's been disputed. The parents said that is not true. Oh, I believe the government. Okay. You wonder why people are calling you bootlickers nowadays. Why that's trending. Because you guys are straight up under the fingers of the government 100%. 100%. When we was throwing tea on the Tea Party in Boston, y'all would have been running to tell the fucking king. When motherfuckers was fighting a fucking Revolutionary War, y'all would have been the ones that was going to tell the British. You're the people that's pro-government, pro-conserving the government. Y'all used to be the people that was against the government, but hey, that's changed because, it isn't a Democrat in office. When you get y'all people in office, y'all go full bootlicker. The whole boot in your mouth. Boot mouth, motherfucker. Y'all just go all the way in. There's nothing he can do wrong.
The biggest brown noses
Man,
ever.
I can tell you many things that I believe that Biden did incorrectly. I can think of many things that I believe Obama did incorrectly. I can think of things that Bill Clinton did incorrectly. But today, with MAGA, their Jesus does nothing wrong ever. Never. What does that mean when you go all in that way? When it's supposed to mean something to stand up to the government. What happened to those days? This is the part where I call it clean cop propaganda. That's what we call that bullshit that Trump is pushing. And that's just something that we've seen since Black Lives Matter, since the 80s. The cop never does anything wrong. The victim it's always the crook. No matter what happens, the cop is right. And we've seen cops just like with Massey. We've seen cops do crazy stuff. Come in this girl's house, she's calling the police. They shoot her in the head. But she got a pot of water on the stove that she's cooking some noodles or some shit. Cops aren't always right. We have proof from videos and video and video after video of them doing things incorrectly. So why is it this big jump to make sure that we jump on the side of the federal government? It should be on the side of right, not automatically on the side of the government. Even when brutality happened, the propaganda insists officer was calm, the officer was professional, the officer did everything right. It's not evidence, it's storytelling, it's bullshit.
And I want people to hear this clearly. Calm does not equal justified. A person can have a calm voice while doing unlawful harm. A person can have a calm face while using excessive force. And a person can be smiling while violating rights. Calmness does not always equal morality. Calmness is not legality. It's a performance. And the right wants you to believe that if that officer looked calm, then the violence must have been righteous.
Right. No, man, if just because cops, I didn't say they were so bad. I'm saying that they are not perfect. They do things incorrectly. And those in power, their power has to be checked. Cops are no different. Their business should be interfered with. They should be able to be recorded. They are living off of tax money. And us as taxpayers should be able to check to make sure they are following the rules that they're supposed to fucking follow. Why do you think that they're supposed to just get a pass just because they're cops? The blue has done a lot of dangerous, incorrect policies. And we've seen a lot of the people get hurt because they follow policies that are incorrect. They don't know the law. They don't follow people's civil rights. We've seen this time and time again. We're not going to sit here and give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to make sure that they are doing things correctly and hold them to that standard that they're supposed to be held to. It shouldn't be any difference before ICE, cops, state police, sheriff, FBI. I don't give a fuck who it is. You arrest people, you put them in jail, you treat them humanely. The rules should not apply just to one side or to one group. They should apply to all. Period. Now we know what the hypocrisy of the right. We understand. Trump calls the man perhaps an insurrectionist with no fucking proof. He goes online, calls a person a criminal with no fucking proof. This is the president. Just like how he's sicking his fucking sycophants on these motherfucking Congress people like Ilhan Omar who don't agree with him. And now we got people putting syringes of piss and squirting it on her. People's lives are being put in danger. It's like how they tried to take out Pelosi and attacked her husband. And the right sit around and laugh and giggle and joke. Ha ha, it's all a joke. Oh, she faked it, Trump says. Putting people's lives in danger. But Trump has been friendly to and openly defended people tied to a real insurrection, man. We know that. January 6th, we know. So what are we watching? What are we watching? What language? Laundering. They use insurrectionists for protesters, immigrants, activists, journalists, anyone who disrupts ICE operations, recording them to make sure that they are doing their job correctly, peacefully. There hasn't been any crimes, beating up people in the protest, so y'all can stop lying. There hasn't been anything burned down, so shut the fuck up, stop lying. Only thing that guy was doing is helping that lady up. But they do not use it for the people who literally stormed the Capitol. That was cool. So it's not a legal label. It's a political weapon that Trump is using because he knows he's in the wrong.
Exactly. And what Trump's post is doing is training the public to accept this idea that resistance equals terrorism, anger equals insurrection, and being disruptive equals death being acceptable. It's a psychological setup because once the public accepts that logic, the ICE doesn't even need trials. They just need the footage. That's the future that the Trump administration is trying to sell the American people.
People talking about bootlicking while they expect the government to pay for everything in their life, raise their children and feed them. Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck? What are you talking about, Mr. Bigglesworth? That might be the dumbest comment of the day. You won. Dumbest comment of the day. What the fuck are you talking about? So since the government, if I'm poor and I need help and I need to and taxpayers are the ones that pay for this, not the government. But anyway, I need help with food stamps. And to get that, I shouldn't say anything about what the government is doing. Is that what you're saying? See how you guys go against the Constitution so fast. You don't even believe in the Constitution. Y'all, that's why y'all are called bootlickers. You don't believe in it. You don't believe in standing up against a government that has overreached their power. You don't believe in standing up against a tyrannical government. You motherfuckers would be for it, bowing down for the king. So if a person needs help from the government, they're supposed to kiss their ass and not say anything bad about it? Is that what you're saying? Damn, dude. So it's a person getting raped daily, as long as they're getting fed, they shouldn't say anything about the rape. Y'all a weird bunch, bro. Y'all weird bunch, man. Weird bunch. That's why you call the bootlickers, man, because you have no spine, no backbone, yellow belly. You it don't matter the situation. You stand up for your principles. Oh, the government is paying for my food, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it. The government's shitting on me daily, but I'm getting like $7 a day, so I'm not going to say anything about that. How y'all still talking about Michelle Obama, bro? Why don't you worry about Melania and her bullshit documentary that just super fucking flopped? Not one person went to go see that shit. Why don't you worry about her? Why y'all still talking about Obama? Dude ain't been in office in 10 fucking years. Please explain me why y'all still talking about him. You cannot get that man off of your brain. You dream about Obama at night, don't you? Riding a horse up to you butt naked. Like you just, your obsession with that man is just ridiculous. Give it up, man. Stop being obsessed with Obama. Goodness. I know you have dreams of him taking off his tan suit and coming into your bedroom nightly.
Right, Ryan. Deport Melania.
Fucking perverts. They get on my nerves, man. Oh my goodness. I'll be all the white women in Scottsdale, Arizona. We white. Okay. Bootlickers got all the confidence right now, man.
Don't they though?
All of it. They hate you, right, bro? That's what it is. They hate that he was the president. They still bring the dude ain't been president, like I said, almost 10 years, man. They still bringing it up. They can't stop talking about this guy. I mean, dude, fuck, man.
Said that term documentary is a stretch. It's being generous. That thing is borderline propaganda.
Man, dog. That I can't believe that they do. I can't believe it. And like I said, they spent money on advertisement. I mean, they probably spent like $100 million on this stinking ass film for this lady, knowing no one likes her. Even the Trumpers don't care about this lady because she doesn't do anything. She's not even in the White House. What is she doing? Nothing. Be best. I can't really, and I stole Michelle Obama's whole speech because I can't think of one myself. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so the Amazon MGM Studios spent $75 million on the documentary.
My guess was 100.
This includes roughly $40 million to acquire the distribution rights and an additional $35 million just for marketing.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I know they're spending at least $40 million on marketing. So this is gonna be like $100 million, but $75 million they spent on this terrible movie. It's terrible, and it's a joke. And like I said, it's flopping worse than NBA and soccer players. Flopping everywhere.
And it only covers the 20 days leading up to the inauguration of Trump's second term.
Nobody cares about that
at all.
Hey, man. Hey, you guys are obsessed. Y'all want Michelle Obama to be a man bad so she could bend y'all over. I mean, that's all y'all dream about. I mean, I thought it was Michael. Yeah, you want it to be Michael so you can get bent over. Obviously. Because that's all y'all talk about. It's her penis. Like if she had one, you would be the person down there giving it to her because you wanted to be her so bad. Who talks about this type stuff? Like y'all are weird as fuck.
They do.
Dude, these are the weirdest people. Well, her name is Michael. Like, why do you want to have? Why do you so invested in this lady having a penis? Like you are 100% invested into this. 10 years later, you're still talking about it. Like, what? Who does this?
Right.
Like, dog, you think I've been talking about some dude genitals for 10 years? Like, could you imagine the gay obsession that y'all have, man? Like, it's weird.
Grindr goes out a bit. They have an outage every time.
I mean, dog. I mean, the fantasy.
It crashes all the time.
Y'all having fantasies about Michelle Obama. Okay. You want Michelle Obama to be a man and visit your house. Okay. We understand. We get it.
Melania's movie documentary only made 8 million. It's this opening
weekend. It made 8 million. What? What?
8 million out of the 75 million that they spent on it.
It made 8 million.
8 million.
I can't believe it. $8 million.
That's it. 8 million.
That's too much. I can't believe it. They made that much.
That's according to today.
That shit should have made a nickel bag. That's real. What it should have made. A nickel bag and a half ounce.
Man.
About 40 hours. Fuck out of here, man.
Oh, man.
Man, but if your politics leads you to justify deaths because a person kicked the vehicle, your politics have become anti-human, man. And that's simple. Simple. We're supposed to be a nation of laws, man, a nation of law. Video clips are not supposed to tell the entire truth. It's supposed to be people that investigates the video clips to make sure that all the evidence is aligning. There's supposed to be judges and courts that determine the guilt and innocence of the person. But we're not getting it when it comes to ICE. Punishment is defined by statuses, and no politician gets to vibe someone into being an enemy. But Trump is trying to do that today. Mm-hmm. And we still haven't seen anyone being held account for what has happened in Minnesota. Period.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So, Habari family, don't let them do it. Let's demand the evidence. Let's demand the timelines. And most importantly, let's demand accountability. Because if they can convince America that kicking a car equals deserving death, then they can convince America that anybody can deserve it for anything.
That's right. That's right, man.
Oh, you yelled at me. You deserve to die.
Right. And that's not good.
Do y'all see the correlation?
Mm. But let's go into the clips before we get up out of here today and talk about some of the biggest visual clips that has drove the week and the news, man. Let's see what we got first. All right. Clips of the week. This is where we let the news speak for itself. No spin, no excuses, just receipts. And we break down what they really mean and how we really feel about those clips. These clips matter because we're living in a time where people can watch the same footage and walk away with completely different realities. I don't get it. So our job tonight is simple. Show you a clip, then give you the context. Let's go ahead and get it going. Clip 1, Trump, you can't have... Oh, we already did that one.
We did that one already.
I think we did 1 and 2.
The next one would be Rand Paul.
All right, so run the Rand Paul one.
Can we get your reaction to the Alex Pretti incident? Can we get your reaction to the Alex Pretti incident?
We're going to have hearings on this. We've invited 3 of the prominent leaders from the Department of Human Services on immigration and immigration control, and we're going to discuss the question of whether or not filming someone, as I see is going on right now, whether that could be considered to be assault, whether retreating from ICE agents is considered to be assault, and whether or not filming and then retreating is an indication that you are a potential assassin. If our government's going to say things like that, people out there in the public need to know. I mean, do people filming the government have to worry that they are guilty of assault, and the use of lethal force can be used against them. Look, we have this all the time as far as our police. Our police have a tough job. Our police largely do a good job, but occasionally there are shootings that are unjustified. That's why the officer usually is put on a desk job or administrative leave until his investigation, even when it's perfectly, I know of at least a couple of shootings in Kentucky where the guy shot the officer 8 times. It ended up being killed by another person in the car. They investigated it for 1.5 years, which I thought was way too long, but that was a completely justified shooting. Mm-hmm. But we investigate things because we think using deadly force is the unusual.
Go ahead, break
it's
it back,
the exceptional rule. But we can't just say, oh, nothing to see here.
So this clip is important because it comes from Senator Rand Paul, Republican, not exactly known for being soft on government enforcement, but listen to what he says about Pretti incident. I don't think it's honest to say he brandished a weapon. I don't think it's honest to say he insulted officers. He said these things, man, because he knows these things are true. Now, the rest of these Trump ass kissers won't tell the truth. But this shit matters because when someone like Rand Paul says this not honest, he's saying something simple. Words are being used to justify force, brandish, assaulted, threatened. These labels become the permission slip.
Yep. And that's why we always say, don't just watch the clip. Listen to the language around it, because the language is how they manufacture public consent for violence.
Now let's go into this next clip of Ilhan Omar being sprayed with some unknown liquid.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. You need to go get checked. No.
We will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. You don't know what.
You see that bravery? See the bravery she showed there. They're telling her, hey, let's walk off. We don't know exactly what that chemical is that she put on you. That it could be something bad. Let's go off. Let's do this a different time. No. I'm not going to let these motherfuckers take me out. Mm-hmm. I want to say I finished what the fuck I started. Yep. And she did. After these crazy lunatics, they say the left lunatics. But who's the lunatic? Another Trumper.
Yep. But this is the political temperature that we have right now. Elected officials can't even speak without being assaulted. And if people think that this stops at just one politician, they're just as delusional as Trump. Because violence in politics spreads, and it spreads fast.
Now Trump immediately came out and said that it was fake, and a lot of his fucking stupid ass followers also said that it's fake.
Just like they are in the comments
saying
right now.
That it is fake does nothing to help or make the situation better. It just makes it worse. But this is what y'all do. Even when the shit hits the fan, when the shit gets to fucking violence, somebody is beat the fucking in the head with a hammer, y'all still laugh and act like it's a joke. But then when the motherfucker said something about Charlie Kirk, y'all ran to go get their ass fired from their fucking jobs.
Yup.
Piece of shit people, dog. You don't want anybody to say anything about your people, but the rules doesn't apply when it comes to the left. You can laugh that this lady was smart and squirted by something. You laughed when the dude was beat by the hammer. Everything's a fucking joke to the right until it's Charlie Kirk, and then it's, oh no.
It was a setup.
No, they can't do that. It's fucking ridiculous. And this is why rhetoric matters, because when leaders normalize the idea that opponents are enemies, which Trump does daily, traitors or vermin or insurrectionists, eventually somebody decides to act on it and people are going to get hurt. He is trying his best to get this girl hurt, man. He wants to get this girl hurt. He don't give a fuck about no one else's life. He doesn't care. Look how he talked about Ritter when he died. Like he don't care about people. Look how he talked about fucking John McCain when he died. He doesn't care. Dude don't care about no one's life. He's straight up trying to put this lady's life in danger. People used to have disagreements and still have respect for each other. But that's not MAGA's way of doing things. Now we got another one of Rand Paul talking to I think he's talking to what's dude's name? Do I get it? Is it up there? No. There you go. Marco Rubio.
Arguments. So it's a drug bust. What if a foreign country indicts our president for violating a foreign law? Should we extradite our president, or should we be okay if they come in and get him by force?
Look, I think ultimately we're always going to act in our national interest. And so if somebody comes after our national interest, like the case you've described, which obviously does not exist at this time, but the case you've described, the U.S. always has the right to act in its national interest and to protect itself. So really I don't know about this equivalency. Well, does this justify them doing it? We're always going to do what's best for the United States and America. We're always going to protect our system.
But the point isn't, and you're exactly right, we will act in our national interest and we should. So I'm not disagreeing with you at all. What I'm saying is, though, that our arguments are empty then. The drug bust isn't really an argument. It's a ruse. The war argument, not a war, is a ruse. It's not a real argument. And we do what we do because we have the force, we have the might, we do it because it's in our interest. So we wouldn't let anybody come in, bomb us, blockade us, and take our president. We've had arguments about legitimate, illegitimate presidents, bad elections, rigged elections. So there's all kinds of same arguments that we've had in our country that they've had in Venezuela.
So, I mean, you listen to him, and Rand Paul tore this guy apart. Because the arguments that that he was putting place, Mark Rubio, were just insignificant. He said that it was okay that we went in and took their president out, but he asked the same question: what happens if a country comes in and takes out our president? What happens? What's the next steps for us? What would you call that? That's war. That is war. Now they sitting around saying, oh, it's not war. We just took their person and we're just doing what we want to. What about the sovereignty of this country? What about the voters of that country? What about the people? They don't get to make the decision on who their leader is. I don't understand, man. And we've listened to Rubio for decades. And this dude has said a whole bunch of nothing. And foresee him to turn around and be the person he is today. And he was a never Trumper at one time. Always against Trump. Said Trump was horrible. But now he's in there licking the boots daily. I don't know if he on the book of sugar, but he definitely
doing something.
He definitely be tripping, man. I can say that. His decision making right now is just insane. I mean, it's what happens if we do the same thing. Would we be okay if they came in and got our president by force? No. This is not random. This is about the president we set internationally. Because when the U.S. starts saying we can reach into anywhere, arrest anyone, ignore sovereignty, other countries can flip that right back and try that against us. Exactly. Well, we know what that'll be, but at the same time, that's what could happen.
Exactly. And this is why empire politics always boomerangs. You don't get to ignore legal norms worldwide, then demand protection from the same norms later on.
Yeah, man.
So let's go ahead and run this next clip where
do we have it?
I'm not sure. It's an abolished ICE and replacing Chuck Schumer clip.
I think it's just a clip of the kids protesting. ICE is really short. Short, but look
Real
at
short.
just showing people, man, they're against this shit, man.
Exactly. But whether you agree or not, what matters is this. The message is spreading because people feel like both parties have failed them.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats and Republic alike.
Yeah, man, and most, saying getting Chuck Schumer out of there. Schumer is, I just don't feel he's strong enough.
He's not.
And Hakeem Jeffries, as a leader, he's been okay, but I also think he needs to be stronger. Cory Booker, a lot of these Democrats are just weak, man. That we see these guys standing up for Israel and not standing up for America. These are the problems that we have with a lot of these Democrats. That's why their polling is just as worse as Trump's.
Mm-hmm.
So things need to be done, man, to be changed on both sides of the party. Because the Democrats seem weak. They seem they can't do what needs to be done to fight Trump. I mean, dude, this guy has been the worst politicians in the history of fucking America, and they can't beat this motherfucker. Y'all can't come up with a good enough fucking plan to beat the worst politician, the most divisive politician that we've seen in this history of this country. Y'all can't beat him? The fuck are the Democrats doing? Trash. Now I keep saying it, man, because it's trash that we even lost to this dude. We lost to a person. They asked him, "What's your plan?" I got concepts of a plan.
Literally all he said.
And we lost still. Like, what?
He was allowed to say, "I got concepts
that means
of a plan."
Right. And people went and voted for the dude who can't spell most of the shit he's saying.
He can't even pronounce acetaminophen.
I can't pronounce that shit either, so I can't. Acetaminophen. That shit hard, man. I hate them fucking medical words. But anyway, I'll leave that shit up to you.
Exactly, Ryan. Most corrupt administration in American history.
Yeah, man. And we can't beat this dude. The Democrats can't put a plan together to make sure that this guy.
That Kamala plan was the best one we had.
David Duke.
And they just voted against it.
I'm saying he's the most divisive president, man. Period. And we can't beat this dude, man. He out here smacking us up. Running on nothing but hate and division. And we're getting smacked up. The Democrats are losing.
Horribly.
And looking bad, man. Hakeem Jeffries and all these Chuck Schumer and all these guys looking weak as hell, man. They look weak. And we got to come up with something better than what we're doing right now in the Democratic Party, because right now the people, the left are just laughing at us, and the right. All of y'all plans are just goofy shit. Fight, stand up, do something better. Dude, it's like I said the other day, if the election was rigged, why the fuck would Trump win twice? Like, y'all got to think about this shit y'all be saying. The election was rigged, but Trump has won 2 out of the last 3 elections. What? He's winning. Why are y'all still crying about losing when you're winning? It's so dumb, but it's so typical MAGA. Typical.
Mm-hmm.
Typical MAGA, man. You're winning. You won. You won the Senate. You won the House. You won the presidency 2 out of the last 3 times. How are you losing? It's so fucking confusing. And you're talking about people are cheating you, and you won everything. So stupid, dog. Let's play this last video. Time, homie.
Can you please be specific about how many ICE and how many Border Patrol agents are currently operating in the state?
I think we're near 3,000. There's been some rotations. Another thing I witnessed when I came here, I'll share this with you. I met with a lot of people, a lot of the agents. They've been in theater. Some of these people have been in theater for 8 months. So there's going to be rotations of personnel. Hopefully less now that we have some agreements. Maybe we can make it more efficient and safe. But they've been in theater a long time. And so, there's rotations happen all the time to get people out here and go home, get some rest and see their families. day after day, can't eat in restaurants, day after day, having people spit on you and blow whistles at you, day after day, having all these threats at you, day after day, having people trying to interfere with you, day after day. You know, they're human. So, you know, we've got to rotate these people, and we've already rotated some. But my main focus now is drawdown, based upon the great conversations I've had with your state and local leaders. Again, I'm not a fool. I'm not walking away without seeing this put in place. But I take the word of the people I met with. I think they're honest, and I think they're good brokers, that they want public safety protected, and they also want what's happening in the city to go away. And that's my goal.
I hope that Tom Homan can come in, settle things, and ICE will just get the fuck out of Minnesota. He's bringing in the right energy right now. He's staying calm. He's not bringing that craziness, Nazi energy that Bovino was bringing. That should hopefully calm things down, and hopefully they can start pouring down their what they're doing there, and they can get the fuck on to some other city.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the harassment and threats aren't okay. Spitting on people isn't okay. But we have to do what we have to do when it comes to things to make sure that people are safe. And I hope that what's been going on in Minnesota can come to a close and people can go the fuck home. But we got one more. We got Julia Stratton here talking about Trump and them running into ICE. I mean, not ICE, to take votes down in Fulton County, Georgia, because he's still obsessed with the 2020 election.
Mm-hmm.
You heard one candidate, that would be me, say that we need to abolish ICE, period. You heard one candidate, that would be me, who said we need to make sure that we don't accept any corporate PAC money in this campaign. And I challenge my opponents to take that on. You heard one candidate on this stage who said that they will not vote for Chuck Schumer as leader because right now we need fighters and not folders. By the way, that would be me. We need real fighters in Washington right now, and this race is a choice between the status quo or someone who's going to go to the mat fighting for you. I look forward to taking your voices with me to Washington. Go to julianastratton.com to learn more.
Oh, that was the wrong one. But yeah, I like and I like the things. We do need fighters. They're not in all 50 states right now. They have they're in Phoenix, in Arizona right now. They're not in every single city. They have certain objectives that they are trying to move forward, and they're telling us the cities that they're going to go to before they go to them. So you would be wrong, man. That we knew they were coming to Phoenix. We knew they was going to Chicago. You're wrong. They have, everyday people probably in these places, but they have certain little certain actions that they are trying to forward in certain places. So they may go to Phoenix and focus all their energy there, or they may go to Minnesota and focus a lot of energy there. With the bulk, they had 3,000 people in Minnesota. That was a lot. Probably the most ICE agents that's ever been in Minnesota, ever. So that's not true. They're not just doing their normal. They are straight up going to cities with a bulk of their ICE agents going into those places first. It's like 3,000 people in Minnesota. That means that they have something that they're going to Democratic areas and they're cracking down harder than they are in Florida and Texas, who has way more immigrants than fucking Minnesota. Now, when you say Phoenix, we understand, but we get what he's doing. Everywhere that he's really focusing 2,000, 3,000 people, they're Democrat states, Democratic governors. Everyone. He has not done this to Texas. He has not done this to Florida. When we are straight up, those are the places with the most, because their states are right on the border. And he hasn't said to Florida or fucking Texas yet, period. So that's bull. It's all fucking politics, man. There we go, Trump and Fulton. My bad. Play that one.
And they are in there collecting 700 boxes of ballots right now. We are obviously concerned about once the ballots leave here, what will happen to the ballots, and our lawyers are going to be working on that. They are working on that as we speak right now. Let me just speak to the larger issue about what this is really all about. This is a scare tactic. This is something that we have seen done before. This is to instill fear and chaos, something that, our officials at the national level are doing on a daily basis, and this is not a surprise for us here in Fulton County. This is meant to make people afraid to go to the polls because midterm elections are going to be so crucial to course correcting what is going on in our country. So instead of taking care of people who are dying in the streets of Minnesota, they're here in Fulton County trying to get ballots from 2020 that have been in storage for now 6 years from when it was found that there was no problems with the 2020 election, that Fulton County runs excellent elections. And that is the fear, that Fulton County will again run an excellent election in 2026. It just won't turn out the way that they want it to. So this is a matter of what we've seen, the old tactics just coming back up again, resurfacing as something new, which it is not, and very predictable. The best thing you can do as a voter, I can do as a voter, what we all can do as a voter is protect your own vote. Don't get scared by these things. There's an election in May for a primary, and there's an election in November, and we should all turn out, no matter what party you are voting for, to protect the right to vote in America. This is not just about Fulton County. Fulton County is right now the target, the only county right now fighting over an election that already happened, but it is coming to a place near you. This is the beginning of the chaos of 2026 that is about to ensue. So if we are starting this early in January, you can only imagine what is going to happen in October. So we need to be vigilant. We need to protect our rights to vote, no matter who you want to vote for. We need to do that, and that's what we're here to do today.
Yeah, man. And Tulsi Gabbard took her ass down there to Georgia to grab all these fucking files to try to act like they're doing something. They're trying to steal the next election is what I'm thinking, for they can get the voter roll information. They've been going state to state trying to get voter rolls for they can fucking cheat.
Exactly.
That's all they're doing, man. They're
Trump
taking all these fucking
control.
votes for he can try to figure out how he can cheat for the next election, man. This shit is disgusting. This shit has already been litigated. Giuliani, Fox News, all of these people have been sued and been taken to court for what they've done. And they lost. The election was not fucking stolen. Trump just lost it because people didn't want to fucking have him in office anymore. It's crazy that we got to keep going through this shit. But County Commissioner Mo Ivory, speaking on the FBI raid of the Fulton election in hubs in Union City, here's exactly what we know. On January 28, 2006, federal agents executed a search warrant at the election hub at the Operations Center, and the FBI seized roughly 700 boxes of ballots and the records tied to the 2020 election. Commissioner Ivory calls it a scare tactic, an assault on voters, and a move designed to create chaos ahead of the 26 midterms. She also raises questions about the legality, noting the records were already under a local court seal.
But this right here is what's dangerous, because you can't just say we love democracy while federal agents are seizing ballots like it's a coup rehearsal.
Yeah, man.
The way we saw them do it in Fulton County.
Right. And even if someone argues it's just an investigation, it's the politics around it that make it explosive, because the goal is relitigate 2020 forever until the public stops believing elections matter. And that's the shit that's disgusting, man. And we already saw Asheville walk out. But we respect everyone for coming and watching today. We're going to keep talking about these things. We're going to keep pushing. You know, even though they arrested Don Lemon and put him in jail, they're trying to make it hard for journalists. We're going to keep speaking the truth, man. We're not going to stop. the clips of the week, Habari Nation, and and everything that we do is going to keep being pushed, man. Political violence, ICE controversy, democracy under pressure, young people resisting. This is the America we're in right now. It's ridiculous, but this is what we're trying to get through. We got too much going on. But that's our show for today. And if there's one thing we hope you take away from everything we covered, from Trump suing the IRS to the birth certificate history to ICE escalations to Pretti's video propaganda to federal agents raiding election records in Fulton County, it's this. Power is being tested right now, not just in courtrooms, not just in Congress, but in everyday life. And what kind of evidence do people accept? And what kind of violence do people justify? And what kind of rights people are willing to give up as long as it's happening to somebody else or the liberals? Because today wasn't about one clip. It wasn't about one lawsuit. It wasn't about one immigration case. It was about a bigger question. Are we still a country of due process, or are we becoming a country of political punishment? But we appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your night or day. Peace out into Wednesday.
Holla, holla.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.